What about the NFC South? Probably the most interesting division this offseason.
Yeah, this has to be the most entertaining one. Imagine going into a season with a division that has four four good quarterbacks, probably three phenomenal ones, and two all-time greats. That's just insane to even say. Um, I know you're not going to be happy with me based on these, obviously being a Saints fan yourself, but I actually have Tampa Bay finishing at the top of the division.
No, look. I do think the Bucs improved significantly over last year. At 7-9, getting Brady and Gronk on top of the offense they already have, I think they improved significantly. I still think it's the Saints division, and it's going to be the Saints division to lose, and here's why. The Saints are coming back. They bring back almost their entire roster. They lose a couple defensive players, but they do gain some defensive players. They got Malcolm Jenkins back from the Eagles, who was a part of that Super Bowl winning team. They're coming into an offense that they already know. They know this offense. They know how to play it. They know where Drew Brees knows where all of his receivers want the ball at certain times. And on top of that, they got Emmanuel Sanders, as we were saying before, the best receiver from the 49ers, who is still a very, very good receiver. And you pair him up with probably one of, if not the best receiver in the NFL at the current moment, in Michael Thomas. And they still have Alvin Kamara in the back. Like, that team is just, that offensive power is insane. And on the defensive side, they have Cam Jordan. They're talking about signing Jadeveon Clowney, which I think is, if you can get the both of them on the defensive line, I think that's insane. Obviously, Tampa Bay improved. I think Tampa Bay does come in second, but it's going to take a little bit for Tom Brady and to fit into that offense. I think he's going to learn it easier than most people will give him credit for. I still think that they're going to struggle to start the season, as the Saints and Buccaneers, I believe they play week one. I'm almost positive they do. That it's gonna be a very interesting season. I think they're gonna split the season series, but I do think the Saints do take this division. I have the Falcons finishing in third, the Panthers finishing in last, but I feel the Panthers could be a little bit of a dark horse in that division. As look, you have Christian McCaffrey, you have easily, I think anyone can say, the best running back in the NFL at the current moment. Obviously, Saquon and Ezekiel Elliott are up there, but I think neither of them are doing what Christian McCaffrey is able to do, receiving, running, like everything. He's, I think, leaps and bounds. Not leaps and bounds. I think he's just ahead of them on certain parts of the football that he can make that team into something, or help make that team into something better than it is. And on top of that, they have a new quarterback. Obviously, Cam's going to the Patriots. I think they will improve on 5-11. They might be able to take third in that division, but it's gonna be interesting. I'm interested to see how it turns out.
I also have them finishing last in the division, and it's not because of talent, because like you said, Christian McCaffrey probably the best running back, at least consistently in the NFL. But if you look at their head coach, Matt Rule, I think he is probably one of the best young quarterback coaches coming up from college in a while that we've seen. Obviously, we've had like Sean McVay, who worked with NFL teams and then worked his way up. We haven't had a young, he's not that young, but a younger college coach come into the NFL. I wanted him to get the Jets job, obviously being as a Jets fan last year before they hired Adam Gase. I think he's a solid head coach, but again, the only reason I have them finishing last is because he doesn't get to put in his new system, similar to Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys. I feel like that's huge, and especially in a division where you have two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time with you towards the end of their career, but still two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
I mean, even
How the
before
heck do you
you,
compete with that?
well, even before you say the end of their career, like Drew Brees towards the end of his career went 13-3 with the Saints last year. Yeah, he did get hurt for a little. Tom Brady was 12-4 with the Patriots. Like that,
Yeah,
you could argue like towards the end of their career, but like I still think like, all right, to put it into not really much perspective, but Dak Prescott, very young, he wants an insane amount of money. He went 8-8 with the Cowboys and went 1-6 against playoff teams. Drew Brees at 39 years old went 13-3 with the Saints. Obviously, the Saints, in my opinion, are a better team than the Cowboys overall. But you still have Drew Brees at quarterback. Like they did so much better than the Cowboys. Tom Brady with the Patriots did so much better than the Cowboys. They're probably the two oldest quarterbacks in the NFL still like starting for their team. Like I just think it's very hard to compete against them.